Welcome back to the Barry Charles Footy Show. Yes, indeed, we are back for another episode that we're going through hypothetical chances of what the best team would be. And in this series that we're going to run, we're going to look at the best halves. Well, not, we're going to look at the best halves and 5/8. This is what this video is going to be about. We're going to look at second rowers against the centres, wingers against fullbacks, and props versus locks. And whoever gets through the first round will get to the semi-final, and then we'll get down to a final. So we've got about 7 videos from here for you to, you can debate who are the best of the 2023 players in their positions. And so halfback versus 5/8 is what we're going to talk about today. And let's see who would win a game of footy out of these two teams. Let's have a look at the 5/8s and halfbacks. Okay, and disclaimer, then these aren't all going to be the 5/8s and halfbacks. This is who I think should be the 5/8 and halfbacks for the team 2023. Obviously, it's not going to be the case because I have different opinions to what they do. So let's have a look at teams 5/8 versus halfbacks and see who will win this game of footy. So my 5/8s versus halfbacks and my 5/8s, fullback will be Anthony Milford taking on Jerome Hughes. So who wins this battle here, folks? You got Anthony Milford, his old razzle dazzle, versus the consistency of Jerome Hughes getting you around the field. Now, on talent, Anthony Milford is better than Jerome Hughes. You can argue a similar thing with Angie Johns to like a Cooper Cronk situation, but the Cooper Cronk was more consistent, and same with Jerome Hughes. He's more consistent out of Anthony Milford, and his kicking game's better. So Jerome Hughes, for me, gets the tick of approval, so halfback wins the first one. Now, as I put this team together, I had to really try and really figure out who would be the props, and obviously in these positions it's going to be pretty hard, so I just went for the ones that are more tenacious, bigger tacklers, trying to figure out who would go in these positions. Anyway, let's have a look at the wing. On the wing for the 5/8s, we have Matt Moylan, and he's going to take on Sammy Walker, because, I mean, it was hard to know where to put any of these players, but Sam Walker has ended up on the wing. So it's going to be speed versus creativity. And who is going to win out? I just think on experience at the moment, Matt Moylan would just have a bit too much smarts there, and I think he'd run over Sam Walker. Sam Walker can do some razzle dazzle from the wing though, but to me, Matt Moylan gets the points here for now. That doesn't mean Sam Walker over this career is going to be the better player. But just in this position, I think Matt Moylan would outclass. Let's have a look at the 5/8 centres here. One of the centres here. Cody Walker versus Luke Brooks. Who would win? This was a tough one for me. Very, very tough. Because they're both good runners of the ball. But I think defensively, Cody Walker is better than Luke Brooks, and that's why I went for him. But if Luke Brooks gets back to his best, then I would easily change this one. But Cody Walker for me. The other centre pairing, this was tough as well, but Matt Burton has played a lot of time here compared to Mitchell Moses, the halfback side. So, yes, I think Matt Burton would be too strong. So at the moment, the 5/8s are carving up here. What's happening, halfbacks? Is this a case of the halfbacks aren't as good as what they used to be? Well, we'll find out. Now the other winger. Well, Sean Johnson, speed to burn, taking on Dylan Brown, speed to burn. Unfortunately, Sean Johnson, I think he'd be slow to turn around, and Dylan Brown will just razzle dazzle him, so that's why I've gone for Dylan Brown. Number 6. Here, well, Jerome Luai gets the number 6 jersey. Does that mean he's the best 5/8 in the squad? Not at all. Some people would argue he is, but I've just put him at 6 because I couldn't really think of him playing anywhere else. And the number 6 for the halfbacks is Adam Reynolds. Adam Reynolds, steady as they come against the razzle dazzle. But again, I like to steady the ship, or rather win more games and have all the razzle dazzle. So Adam Reynolds for me would win this one. And people are going, what? You're smoking the kabuli? Maybe I am, but Adam Reynolds, I love him as a player. The halfbacks, this will be a great game. Luke Keary versus Nathan Cleary. Very good game for Luke Keary at his best, but clearly Nathan Cleary has been the most dominant player for a while, and he will clearly win this battle. So a bit of a comeback here for the halfbacks, but still behind the 5/8. Let's go to the prop position. Jack White ends up being one of the props here against Jamal Fogarty. Be interesting to see how this goes between these two. But Jack White outclasses them all day. This will be a good matchup between Kieran Foran and Ben Hunt because they're both smart footballers, and putting them in the number 9 position. This was a very tough one, and I probably like Kieran Foran as a player better than Ben Hunt, but Ben Hunt plays number 9 quite regularly, and I have given him the nod here, but I can see Kieran Foran being very good in this position. The other props, Cameron Munster gets to go here with Chad Townsend. And people go, what are these guys doing here? But I think these guys will try to tackle all day. So, but Cameron Munster clearly outclasses Chad Townsend. This is another good one. Adam Dewey versus Nico Hines in the second row. Who would win? Well, if you go on last year's form and pretty much everywhere, Nico Hines is the better player, and Nico Hines wins. Now, the Manly duo here, John Schuster and Daly Cherry Evans. And even though Daly Cherry Evans might be the better player in the second row position, John Schuster would carve him up. So John Schuster wins this one. And Kalen Ponga. Well, Kalen Ponga gets 2 starts in this competition because, to be honest, I don't know if he's going to play 5'8" or fullback, and I really couldn't understand who would play that other position, so I put him in both. So Kalen Ponga taking on Jackson Hastings, and no doubt Kalen Ponga would carve up Jackson Hastings. But Jackson Hastings would be more consistent, so you could argue you could pick Jackson Hastings, but Kalen Ponga class. Now the bench warmers. So it's been a pretty clear cut. 5'8" are carving up here. Can the bench save the halfbacks, or was it all over Red Rover? The 5'8", Junior Ramone versus Kyle Flanagan, the halfbacks. You could argue this one the other, but Kyle Flanagan's had more experience, so I put him on top on this one. Ezra Mann versus Tanner Boyd. Again, very similar, but I'm not for Ezra Mann at the moment. Tamari Martin versus Sean O'Sullivan. Again, pretty even, but Tamari Martin's played a bit more footy, so I've gone for him. And Tommy Dearden versus Lachlan Elias. And people will debate this one as well, but I have gone for Tommy Dearden. So the 5'8" have absolutely slam dunked this competition. Absolutely slam dunked the halfbacks. So what does that mean? The halfbacks aren't as good as the 5'8" overall? I have to argue, I think so. I think there's more better 5'8" than halfbacks at the moment. We're just not developing them as good as we used to, and I think that's because of the way the big game's gone, and the development of the halfback has really gone out the drain. So it's disappointing, especially the Andrew Johns type halfback is certainly gone for the game. It's more the Cooper Cronks, which is nothing wrong with it because it's the way. If you win games of footy, and that's all it's about, winning games of footy. And Cooper Cronk wins games of footy. Was Andrew John winning games of footy? He was winning some games of footy, but not as much as Cooper Cronk. And Nathan Cleary is on his way to being even bigger than all of them, so that's going to be an interesting one. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. What sort of game plan would these two teams have? Even though the 5'8" would be winning this more likely. I think for the halfbacks obviously would be kicking to the corners. But I just think the defence of the 5'8" would be too good. Anyway, this is the first round of this 5'8" and halfbacks and the positioning for the 2023. And with the 5'8" getting through, they make it through to the semi-finals. Remember to subscribe and smash the like button because Barry Charles Footy Show is here to stay. Have a lovely day out there.